Okay, so at this point you should have your portfolio template in both PDF and InDesign inside your portfolio folder. Let's click on InDesign, and this is what you should see. So InDesign looks a little bit similar to Illustrator, but a lot different at the same time. Over here on this side where your tools are, you have something called Pages. So I want you guys to make sure you can see your pages. You can go to Window, Pages if you don't see them. So bring up this Pages panel. And then this shows you every page. So if you wanted to be working on your first page, you could just double click it and your first page will show up here. If you wanted to be working on sample project 2, then you can click down here on page 10 and 11 and you're all of a sudden there. So this is how you can navigate through there. And then there's something here called Master. So I want you guys to go into the Master pages right now. You click right here where it says A Master and you need to double click. A Master takes you to these 2 blank pages here. And the master page is where you would put page numbers and also where you put any kind of footer information that you see on every page of your portfolio. And if you guys have ever noticed in your books, there's always this footer information that kind of tells you what chapter you might be in the book or the name of the book. So what you need to do right now is change this. Otherwise, your portfolio is going to say Jenny Angelakis on it. So you want to go in there and type your name in there. So Brandon, will you type your name? And you also could change the font or the color, or you can just keep it how I have it. But now, Brandon Immel portfolio and 2016 will show up on every page. And if you go to the other side here, you'll see that the facing page is going to say ROP Graphic Design, Harbor High School. These little letters are page inserts. So every time you change a page, this letter will change to your page number. So if you get out of there now and you go to page 1, I just double clicked on page 1 in my Pages panel. You can go to your black arrow key and click on this big X that shows up, the big blue X. If you click on it, you'll see these little markers here. If I'm clicked out of it, you don't see the little tiny blue rectangles. But if I click on that X, then I've loaded this placeholder. See these little tiny blue squares, I should say. When you're clicked like that, you can place something in. So we're going to place the cover in. You're going to go to File, Place, and then Brandon, can you navigate to where your cover is? He has all of his stuff really well organized, so he can find it quickly.
Cover?
Yeah, and we're going to use the AI. And then go ahead and place it. And then it places in perfectly because it's already the right size. But when you look at this file, it might look really horrible. It will look horrible and pixelated. So when you look at it, see how this, you might freak out and say, what? This is all pixelated. This isn't how I made it. Don't worry, that's just how InDesign previews things, but that's not how it will actually print out. So he's got his portfolio cover in, he's got his master pages correct. Now let's do a save as. File, save as, and Brandon, I want you to type in there your name, just Brandon _ portfolio, and navigate to your Google Drive, to your portfolio folder. And save. Okay, so now this is the file that he's going to continue to work with. He's no longer using the template file. He's in his own file. So he can go into page 2. And here you'll see on every page that there's words that you're going to have to go in and change those words to reflect who you are. So, whoops. Let me click here better. So right here it says Jenny Angelakis. You're going to change that. Here it says Graphic Design 1. If you've taken other classes that you're combining in your portfolio, you're going to want to put those there. You can change the font and colors. You could put a whole color in the background. You can do whatever you want to customize this. If you take the black arrow key, you can move things up and down. If you want to see what it looks like without all those guides there, then up here at the top, there's this button that says screen mode, and you can push preview, and then you see what the page looks like without the guides. You can work in it like that too, but I find that a lot of times I like to see the guides, so I'll click on screen mode, put normal. I'm going to show you one last thing, which is how to place in something and work with these boxes. So right now I have this X. I've highlighted it. I'm going to do File Place, and it's telling me to put my logo there. But I don't think I have a file with just my logo by itself. So you want to find a file that has your logo in it. Ooh, that's perfect. And then say Open. And it placed it in there. But that's not really where I want it. It's kind of off to the side. I see a black line. So if you want to work with how things fit in there, if you click on this circle that appears, let's see if I can get that circle. Why is it going away? I'm going to delete that. See this circle right here? If I click on that, then it allows me to move this and even change the size of it if I want to. I can kind of move it off to the edge, and you can change the size of it. Or you can, I don't know why it's not giving me the box. Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. So now I can come in here and change this, move it around, and get it so that I'm not seeing a black line. If I click on the blue box and not the circle, then it changes how much space this could take up. So it's the frame basically for your image. If I change that, then I could come back on top of this circle, and I can either move this around manually, or I can right click and say fitting, and I can say fit content proportionally, and it just moved everything and fit it inside of the new frame that I created. So remember that when you click outside, you're changing the frame, and when you click on the circle, you're changing the image. So if you like things, you save and you move on. And you can see how if you have all of your things organized, you could get this done in one class period. If you don't know where your files are, it could take you a long time to complete the project.